Hello friends, so far we have added basic functionalities like zoom in, zoom out and area measurement to our web application. In this video we will understand how to add attribute query functionality. So we will add a button. Once we click on it, a attribute dialog will open and it will allow us to select the layer on which we want to make a query. All attributes of the selected layer will be selected and available for the query, and operators will be available as per the attribute type, and we can enter the value for which we want to search. So here I want to search all the district which are having Nagar in their name. So when I run the query, attribute dialog will open with the list of features, and map will also reflect the features selected on the map with yellow boundary. Once I move the mouse over the attribute table, a row will be highlighted, and when I click on it, feature will be highlighted on the map. When I click on the attribute row, feature will be highlighted and it will zoom to the map. So this is how we will be adding a attribute query functionality to our web mapping application. So I click on any of the row and map will zoom to that particular object and it will show highlighted on the map. Other features will remain selected with yellow border, and highlighted feature will be shown with a magenta color and transparent fill. Once I zoom out the map and then again click the attribute query, it will remove all the selected and highlighted feature, and it will also close the attribute dialog box and attribute table. So let us click on that. You can see all the selected features are removed and dialog box have been removed. So let us begin with the coding part. So we will start with previous application. We want to add a query button here. So here is the code, our index.html file. This is our JavaScript file. This is where we left it last time, and along with that we have our style file. So these are the styles related to tooltip and zoom in zoom out button. So let us start from HTML page. Here we will add some of the components to show the query dialog box. So let me add code for that. So I am adding a code here. You can see I have added couple of div elements, drop box elements, input box elements and a run button. So this is the container which contains all the elements, and this is the header part where I am mentioning it is attribute query dialog box. This is the select layer drop box related element, uh, and this is a select attribute related. So once I click the layer, attribute will be available, operators and value, and this is the button on which I will be clicking and it will execute the function. So this is all about coding of HTML. Now let us do some styling part. So I am adding here the style for the attribute dialog box. So you can see over here, this is how I am styling my attribute div element. So I am setting up the position over here, and then some background color and some box shadow related part. You can see over here I am also setting up the header part, so how header should look like with the title attribute query, and then select element of the dialog box, input element of the dialog box, and then finally how label should appear on the attribute query dialog box. And finally there is the run button. So how run button should look like, I want it to be green with a white text on it. So this is the styling which I have done. Now let me save it and let us go to our application, and this is how it looks like. So attribute dialog box is open when I have refreshed the map. So it is open by default, but what we want is I should have a button, and when I click on the button then only it should appear. So we will go to the coding part now, and then we will create a button. So let us go to the coding part and JavaScript part of it. So once I go to mains.js, I will add a code here related to adding a button. So as our nomenclature, I will put up a comment to denote start and end of a attribute query related code. and now in between we will write all the codes. So this is what I have done. I have added a code related to adding a particular button, giving it a style. Let me format the document, and you know, from the previous document I have added a button and I am assigning some image to it here in this code. Then I am creating a div element to contain that button, and finally I am creating ol.control and assigning that button to it. Then I am setting up a query flag. It is very important. It defines whether a button is clicked or not. So if I click a button, it will change its value from true to false, false to true, and I am setting up the cursor. So if the button is clicked for the first time, it will change from blue to green and it is enable status. And then I am removing some of the resources which were added previously. So this is the JSON and feature overlay which I am removing if they are already added. And then I am setting up the cursor and block display part of it. Finally, I am executing a function, that is add map layer list. You can see in the code. If the button is unclicked, what I am doing is I am removing again all the resources. I am resetting the cursor. So this is how we have added a code related to button, attribute query button. So let me save it. What we have to do is we have to do some styling part of the button, how it should appear, where it will be placed on the map. So now I will save this JavaScript related part, and then I will go to the styling related part. So you can see over here a button has been added, but image is not coming, it is not placed properly. So I have to remove this and ensure that the path of the image is proper. Now I am going to the styling related part, and here I am assigning it a position. So let me add button related code. Now I have fixed the issue. Now when I refresh the map, you can see a button has been added with the image. Now what we want is when I click the button, then only this particular dialog box should open, otherwise it should not open. So now we will do that part of the coding. So let us go to the code editor, and here if you see in my styling, by default I have made it a display type block. You can see over here I will change it to none. And in my JavaScript code I have written a line which set display part to the block when I click on a particular button, query attribute button. You can see over here. So it will set it to block, but by default it will be none. When I click the button again, means I am disabling attribute query, it will again set to none. It means that first time when I click, it will display. Let us refresh the map. So by default attribute query dialog is not opening. Now when I click on this, it will open. When I click again, it will disappear. So this is what we have done through coding. Now we will fill up all these drop boxes and populate them through the code. So let us go to the JavaScript, and here you can see in the click event we have this add map layer list. So whenever I click attribute query button for the first time, it will populate the map layer list. So here is the function for that. So for populating the attribute and for populating the layers, what I am doing is I am making a query, Ajax query to the Geo server, and using the get capabilities functionality and fetching all the list of layers. and then I am populating the Dropbox with the name of the layers. So this is the coding part. It is very much simple. So add map layer list. Now once the layer list is added, what I have to do is a person will select any particular layer, and accordingly attribute should be populated in the Dropbox. So I have added a code. You can see over here, if select layer is activated and on change event is fired, so somebody has selected a particular layer, then what should happen? It should fetch the attribute from the geo server for that particular layer and populate in the particular Dropbox. This is the code I have written in this part. Next thing what I have done is, if somebody selects a particular attribute, then what should happen? It should select the appropriate operator and populate in the Dropbox, and when somebody clicks on a run button, what should happen? So this is the coding part I have done. Let me explain you one by one. So this is the select layer and on change event. So again, in this part what I have done is, if select attribute Dropbox is already populated, then I'm clearing all the available values, and then I'm making a Ajax query to geo server, and I'm fetching all the attributes of the selected layer. So this is a very simple. Once all the attributes are available, I am adding all those attributes sequentially to the Dropbox. So this is the coding part. First element I am keeping it blank, and then second onwards elements will be as per the attribute. So this is the code for that. You can go through line by line. If you have basic JavaScript knowledge, you can easily run through this code. So it is very much simple code. So once the operator is selected, once the attribute is selected, then appropriate operator should be available for making a query. So here is the code for on change event of the attribute. So a particular attribute is selected. If the attribute is numeric, short or integer or double value, then appropriately operator should be available for making a query. If the attribute field type is string, then like or equal to, those kind of operators should be available. So for that I have written a code here. You can see, if it is a string, then like equal to operator will be available. Now once layer is selected, attribute is selected, operator is selected, final thing that I have to do is enter the value, that is a manual, and once all the values are entered, then user will click on the run button. So when user clicks on the run button, this code will fire. So it will first of all clear all the previously added resources, and then it will fetch all the values from the dialog box. You can see it is accepting layer, attribute, operator and values, and whether those values are provided properly or not, it is checking here in this part of the code. Once those values are checked, it will move ahead, otherwise it will give some error to the user. Now once all values are as per the requirement, and then if user has selected a like operator, then it will add parameters related to like operation rather than a fixed value operation. So here is the code for that. So I am fetching for like, otherwise it will fetch as it is, and here I am generating a URL which will be fired to the geo server, and it is a URL for fetching a data based on the query. So you can see here the parameter SQL filter. It is fetching data from geo server based on user defined query, and the output will be in the form of JSON file. So this is the URL which I have generated based on the user inputs. Now once the URL is generated, you can see over here I am firing three functions. One is get GeoJSON and add to map. So all the features will be added to map. Then display the query table, and then add row handler functionality to the table. So these are the three functions I am executing. Now let us write coding part of those functions. So we will start with the first function, add GeoJSON to the map, which will accept the URL as a parameter. URL which we have generated, you can see on the top, on the previous line we have generated a URL. So let me write the code. For the first function, add GeoJSON to the map. So this is the code. So this code will do nothing but it will fetch the data from the geo server based on the query. The feature which satisfies the query will be available, and this code will add those features on the map. So here on the style part I am defining how those features should be displayed on the map. So selected feature will be displayed with yellow color, and then it will be added as a GeoJSON layer onto the map. And once the features are added, this particular code is zooming to the selected feature. So if there are 5-10 features which are meeting the query requirement, then map will zoom to the extent of all those 5 selected features. So this is the coding part of it. So what we have done in this case is we have added all the features which are matching the query criteria. Now what we want to do is, next function is to add a attribute table on the map. So here is the code for that. Let us go through the code. What we have done is we have to display attribute panel. So if panel is already there, we have to display it off, and then we'll populate again and display it on. So in this part I am displaying it off if it is already there. Now I am using a jQuery functionality get JSON, and I am passing on the URL which we have generated based on user query. Once I pass on this URL, it will provide me the GeoJSON data, and now I am looping through each and every element of the GeoJSON data which I have received from the geo server, and then I am creating a table element, and I am assigning some styling part to it, how table should appear on the HTML page. And then once table is created, I am adding a row to it, and then in this part I am adding a header related element, an HTML part of it. So which data should go as a header? So all the column headings will go as a header, and then all the rows data will go in the tr element. So I'm looping through all the each and every GeoJSON data rows, and then pushing it into a table, and finally I'm adding a table to a map. You can see over here, if table is already there, then I am deleting. Now you can see that I am doing get element by id attribute list div. This element we have not created in HTML, so we have to create it. So let me go to HTML, and I am creating a div element which will hold the table. So this is what we have created. So it completes our code. So we have done the coding related to table also. So now we have completed two parts: adding features to the map which are meeting the query criteria and highlighting on the map. We have also displayed the table. Now what we are doing is third part, that is row handler. That means when I click on the row of a particular table, my map should highlight that feature on the map, and it should zoom to that map. So here is the code I have added for handling each and every row. So when I click on each and every row, it will interact and it will display the features. So this is the code. Now let me explain you this code also. This is a row handler. So I am just taking the reference of a particular table, that is attribute query table, and I am taking reference of each and every row, and then this is the header related element. So I am moving through that, and then this for loop is moving through each and every row of a attribute query table, and then it is fetching the element, sensing the click element, and then taking the GeoJSON as a source. You can see here I am taking the get source of particular feature, and then I am generating a new JSON file and adding it to the map. So this is the code, and here once the JSON file is added, it will zoom to a particular feature. So this is the entire code which will do a row handling part. So when I click on a particular row of a table, this code will execute. So we have done the entire coding to serve the purpose. Now let us do some styling. This styling is related to table, how it should display, how header should be colored, how each and every row should be colored. So this is how I am positioning the table element, background color, and see, initially the table is none, and when I click the run button, then only this table will be displayed as a block. You can see over here. So initially table will not display till the time I fire a query. So keep note of that. And this is the table related styling, and then how attribute table border should look like. So these are all styling and cosmetic. You can design the table the way you want. So I have designed the way I like to see it on the map. So this is header and each and every cell element, how they should appear on the map. And then finally this is the hover functionality. So when I move the cursor over the table rows, how it should react. So this is all styling part. So we have done all HTML, JavaScript and styling part. Now let me refresh the map. So see, first of all, dialog box is not there. Now when I click, it is there. Now drop down, it is showing me all the layers. When I select the attribute district, it is showing me operator related to text. Now when I select this numeric attribute, see, it is changing to greater than, less than. So a numeric related. Let us go back to district. Let me select operator like, and now I am writing value as Nagar. So all the district which have Nagar somewhere in their name will show up here. You can see attribute table is populated, map is showing selected feature with yellow colors. You can see over here, and table is reacting to my hover event. Now when I click on a particular row on the table, we have written a add row handler function for that. So when I click on Yamuna Nagar, you can see the feature has been highlighted, and when I click on it other, so you can see it is zooming to that. So feature is highlighted and zooming to it. Other features are selected with yellow border. So I can click on any feature in the table and it will show me highlighted feature and it will zoom to that particular feature. So it is such a beautiful functionality and it is such a user friendly. We can interact with that. Now I can even change the query equal to and say Gujarat. I want to see all the district of Gujarat. So when I run that, oh, it has not generated any output because I have to change the attribute state is equal to Gujarat. And now when I run the query, you can see all the states, all the districts having name state is equal to Gujarat have been selected, and it is available on the map with yellow color. So all the selected features are with yellow color. Now when I click on any feature Ahmedabad, you can see that feature is highlighted and map is very much user friendly and reactive. So when we click on that, map will zoom to a particular part. So this is such a beautiful functionality. It is always useful providing this functionality to the user. Now once I am done with this query, I will zoom out, and when I click the attribute query button, I want to deactivate it. See, all the selected portion, all the attribute dialog box will disappear. So it is such a beautiful functionality. I hope you are finding it useful. Keep watching our videos. We are going to add many more useful functionality on web mapping application. Kindly subscribe and like and share with your friends who also find this thing useful. Thank you for watching.